Hey y'all, it's my review for the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, Episode 4. It is day 4 at Bluestone Manor in the Berkshires. It's early in the morning. I'm assuming all the ladies have sobered up by now. For one, we see Brandy. She's texting Eva saying that she's sorry for calling her man a mangina. She knows she put her foot in her mouth and she doesn't want to be the one who offended the black woman. We see Dorinda outside where there's peace and quiet. She's trying to get her mind together before she deal with these ladies in her house. We're with Eva now. She's FaceTiming her son. Eva, is that a cigarette? Oh, I don't know, girl. Like, the weed is fine, blunts, but cigarettes? I'm judging, I'm sorry. So we get to see the itinerary for day 4, and it's a little light. First, there's Derobics. I'm guessing she's going to be doing that 80s aerobics that she did on Roni. A tea party that's going to be facilitated by Taylor, which is a callback to her season when she threw that $50,000 party for her daughter, and a Prohibition Dinner. Meanwhile, we see Brandy joining Eva outside, and here comes the apology. You know, I want to apologize for offending you, and I didn't mean it like that. She is like bringing up every excuse. Girl, you called Eva's husband the P word. Too early in the video, y'all. Don't want to get flagged. And just own that, you know? Like, she put her foot in her mouth like she always does, but here she go groveling. Thankfully, Eva, she don't care. She's just like, don't do it again, and we good. Not Brandy talking about, oh, and my husband was my mangina. Side note, Eva, I want that Erykah Badu hoodie. Anyway, Eva tells Brandy, you didn't hurt me, you just confused me. And then we cut to her confessional saying, you lucky I like you. You lucky I like you. Clearly, Eva saw through Brandy's BS explanation and just said, you know, it just wasn't a big deal to me. I know how Brandy operates. Just don't do it again. So next we get a montage of all the ladies getting ready for Derobics. Dorinda is very excited for this. So next we're in the kitchen with Tamra, Vicky, and Dorinda. And they're just talking about how Vicky choked on her pill while she was talking to Brandy. So as they're enjoying the little breakfast spread in front of them, Dorinda reminds them that there's no eating upstairs in the room, followed by producers showing all the ladies breaking that rule. But here's the thing, like, all the ladies got like a welcome package and in it was cupcakes. So of course, like, you put the cupcakes upstairs for them to eat. So, I mean, it is what it is. Dorinda says she has her spy or her housekeeper letting her know when the ladies are eating upstairs, and she's been ratting the ladies out. But like I said in a previous review, Dorinda saw Brandy eating in front of her, like she was eating a plate of fruit in front of her. Why didn't she scold her then? Well, maybe I guess day 4, she's like just tired of the bullshit. So Dorinda is calmly telling Tamra and Vicky that she just doesn't like food in the room, and Tamra says that, oh, well, the butler, he brought us some yogurt in the room, so he offered it, so I ate it. I don't like where this is going, because now Dorinda's like, well, it says it on the plaque, I don't like mice, and Tamara's like, what plaque? And Dorinda's like, the plaque that's in every room. Like, she put a little list of rules in everybody's room. Child, and now Dorinda had to go upstairs to get the plaque to show Tamara. Like, Dorinda's being condescending at this point now. Like, all you have to do is just let them know, no eating in the room, got it. But she keeps going on and on and on, and Tamara's picking up on it and getting annoyed by it. Dorinda is literally reading off the list of rules for Tamra and Vicky. Okay, so now Dorinda's pissed. Is she drunk this early in the morning, or is it pills? Like, now she's starting to curse at Tamra because she feels like Tamra's being condescending to her. So she's like, oh, you want me to talk to you like a child? I'm gonna treat you like a child. Don't eat in my fucking room. At that point, I think I probably would have got a hotel. You're not gonna curse at me like that. Tamra looks blindsided. She looks so taken aback by Dorinda's behavior. Here we go. Dorinda just keeps needling it. Like, I don't know where you people live, but over here, I don't do that. Oh. Man, like, Dorinda, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Dorinda has completely killed the mood. These ladies were ready to do her 80s workout, and now she's just really making her guests feel unwelcome. She's like, well, if you don't eat in your room, why are you eating in mine? Vicky just looks dumbfounded. I'm actually on the OC girl's side. Like, okay, they ate in the room. Like, you don't gotta badger them about it at this point. If they do it again, then you can go off on them. But it just looked like this is her first time letting them know not to do it. So Dorinda leaves the kitchen and Tamara, like, she's shaking right now. Like, her boiling point is almost up there. She starts to cry because I get it. When you're so angry and frustrated and you feel like you can't do anything about it, like, you cry. Sometimes I do that out of frustration. So I felt Tamara at this moment. I felt bad for her. So Dorinda comes back in the kitchen and Vicky lets Dorinda know that you made Tamara cry. And Tamara's like visibly upset. Dorinda's just like, well, I'm sorry, Tamara. Are you really crying? And Vicky's trying to tell her, like, you were being just so condescending to us right now. And then trying to say, like, oh, what we do and calling us you people. Y'all, could y'all imagine if she had that conversation with Phaedra and Eva and just saying you people? Oh, child, production would have shut down. All right, Dorinda's being evil right now. Now she's just marginalizing Tamara's feelings, and then she's throwing it back on her saying, well, if you're crying, I'm gonna cry. Like, how you can't even respect my home? Like, Dorinda. It started in episode 3, and then Dorinda is on the downturn right now. We're getting mean Dorinda from season 12 that was put on pause. So now with the help of production, Dorinda is going on and on and on about it. Like just full condescension in Tamara's direction right now. And Tamara's just, you can see it, like her eyes starting to twitch. You can see her getting more stressed out as Dorinda's talking to her like that. And then Dorinda's like, do you think it should be an animal house? That's that Tamara explosion I love. Just stop talking to me like that. Oh my God, for her to recreate that moment, it's my opinion. Her voice went to megaphone volume. Like, we are only 10 minutes in. 10 minutes in. It's day 4 in the morning. The day hasn't even started yet. I totally get it. Dorinda is taken aback. Like, I don't think she's ever had anybody yell at her like that on her season, ever. Tim was like, stop! Like, Dorinda was shook for that one moment. You can see the look on her face. Oh my God. She deserved that. Tamara storms out the kitchen. Just stop. Dorinda, like, she gathers herself like, okay, look, you don't need to come outside. They both walk out. Then we see Tamara on the stairwell just explaining herself why she yelled at her. Like, you're talking to me like this. Like, she's still flustered. And now you can see the horns coming out of Dorinda's head right now. She's smiling at her and just like, really? You're mad at me because of that? She's still marginalizing her feelings. Oh man, and then Tamara just runs up to her room. And here we go, the black girl's trying to wonder what happened so they can mediate. So Eva and Phaedra, like, they are on it right now. So Eva is going to Dorinda asking her what happened. Phaedra's talking to Tamara. Tamara's like, that fucking bitch. Tamara is so angry right now. Like, she's literally shaking talking to Phaedra. That was genuine anger. Phaedra and Eva, like, they're getting this upset over a midnight snack? Look, I promise you, if Dorinda was talking to any of the other ladies like that, they will understand. Maybe because they weren't there to see it. But yeah, that will bring me to my boiling point too. So then we see the butler talking to the ladies, and Vicky was like, yeah, I mean, you brought us yogurt upstairs. And she flipped out. And then we see the butler in his confessional, and I gotta say, he is a little cute. So then they go down the line asking the cast in their confessionals about the rules, and then production shows all of them, even Eva and Phaedra, eating upstairs in the room. That's why I'm wondering, would Dorinda have had that same energy for Phaedra and Eva? She should have had like a little house meeting for everybody and told them equally, like, y'all do not eat upstairs. That's what should have happened. But she singled 2 people out. Dorinda has no remorse for making Tamara upset. She's like, why is it such a big deal? So the ladies are all getting ready to go outside for the Derobics. It looks like everybody is late, especially Phaedra, but Vicky and Tamara, they're not even going to participate. We see Tamara in a confessional with Vicky saying she was so excited for the day, she was excited about her outfit, and then that shit happened. So Dorinda is super serious about this Derobics. All the ladies have made it down with the exception of the OC girls. The OC girls are just chilling up in the room. Yeah, I can fast forward this. this. So Derobics is over and Jill goes upstairs to check up on Vicky and Tamra. She walks in and they immediately knows that she has her shoes on because they were grilled about the plaque by Dorinda. So they're going to see everything now. So then Jill tells them, like, this is how you got to deal with Dorinda. Like, she blows up at you, it's over. Vicky's like, I don't care, that was rude, and we just decided to skip out on it. And Tamra has a point. Dorinda told her not to come to aerobics. We then see Phaedra come in the room, and then Taylor. Eva, I don't think she want any parts. She just tiptoe, like, out the screen. Eva just want to get to her weed and her edibles. And them nasty cigarettes. So next scene, it's a little later, and all the ladies are dressed for Taylor's tea party. So they're on their way to the venue in separate cars, and of course, you know, Tamra and Vicky are talking about the blow-ups, saying like, I don't get over things that easily, I'm pissed off about it. Brandy explains in her confessional that the most recently fired housewives, Dorinda and the OC girls, they're all like battling to see, you know, housewiving off or whatever, because they want to get back on their shows. I don't think that. I just think that Dorinda was just mad disrespectful to them for doing something that everybody else did. Wow, this venue there for the tea party is extremely nice. I mean, it's also nice of them to just get off Bluestone Manor property too. So they're all seated at the table for lunch. Everything just looks really nice, and it's nice for the episode to just come down just a little bit from the madness it started with. I don't even mind. So at the table, it's a little awkward because they're talking about Derobics, but clearly leaving out the blow-up that happened before. And Dorinda, she ain't apologizing, Tamra, I'm sorry. Phaedra's then asking Vicky and Tamra why didn't they come down for Derobics, and Tamra said she needed a moment, and Vicky, I just think she didn't want to go downstairs without Tamra. Like, Vicky uses Tamra as her emotional support dog. Not to compare her to an animal, but that's kind of just how she uses Tamra in her eyes. Like, she needs her to get through things. Dorinda ain't budging. She's telling Vicky that it just really wasn't a big deal earlier in the day. And then Tamra's like, well, you attacked me. So then Dorinda turns it around on Tamra, saying that it was noticed by everybody, your absence, so you kind of ruined my activity. Does anybody at the table kind of agree with Tamra? Because it doesn't seem like it. Like, this was all Dorinda's fault. So Eva's standing up for Dorinda, and Tamra's like, hold on, you weren't even there. So then Vicky jumps in the conversation, and Dorinda's like, Vicky, stay out of it, stay out of it, let them talk. So now Dorinda's deflecting the whole argument by now bringing up that Tamra and Vicky are like a package deal. They can't do one thing without the other. All Dorinda had to do was just apologize to Tamra for making her cry and taunting her when she was crying. So now we got Eva versus Vicky right now. I really don't understand. Like, Vicky was actually right in this moment for sticking up for her friend, because if nobody gonna stick up for Tamra, who is? So I get, oh my God, I'm defending Vicky against Eva of all people. I think Eva's kind of up Dorinda's ass right now for some strange reason. This is silly. I don't even care anymore. Like, Dorinda's not making sense. She's not gonna apologize. So they need to just move on. They got, what, 3 or 4 days left. They talking about a do-over. Please don't. Like, that Derobics look boring as hell. Also, again, this is the most quiet Jill has been. Like, you know, she be like a motor mouth, but these women, they be going at it. And speaking of Jill, later on, she kind of hints to Dorinda that maybe you should just, you know, maybe talk to Tamra one-on-one. Look like she just needs a hug or something. Just my advice. And then Dorinda says, oh, well, you can say that advice to Tamra. Dorinda don't be giving a fuck. You hear me? Like, especially about the OC girls. So we see Jill at least, you know, go to Tamra and hug her, and Tamra's like, oh, thanks, Jill. I definitely needed a hug. I mean, after Dorinda bites your head off, yes, I would need a hug too. Lord. So then Jill tells Dorinda, like, yep, Tamra needed a hug, see? And then Dorinda goes in to hug Tamra. Dorinda even gives Vicky a hug too, so it looks like all three of them are moving on from the incident. So the ladies all get back to the house. It's downtime right now. Wait, is Eva doing vape in Dorinda's room? It sure did look like it. And I just know Dorinda would have a problem with that if she saw her. During the downtime, we're in Vicky and Tamra's room, and they're just complaining about Dorinda and how she is, and what she said about them just being the same person. They actually think that they're just really good friends. And I agree. to an extent. Next scene, we're with Jill and Taylor, and they're just talking, lounging by the pool. Taylor's telling Jill about a vulnerable moment they had on the way back to the house, and she was talking about Richard. And y'all know how Dorinda get when she talks about Richard. Like every single episode, Richard's name is going to be said on this show. But anyway, Taylor said that she just appreciated that vulnerable moment because she sees Dorinda as just so strong. She's telling Taylor that Dorinda has gotten meaner as she's gotten older, and definitely Richard's death probably has something to do with this. She's probably alone. And then she gives the tea that her and Dorinda were never close, but they did know of each other. I mean, Upper East Side white women, they all kind of like know each other. She said they connected when Richard got sick. She would take her out, and then she even invited her to film on, I believe, season 3 or 2 of the Housewives. And when Dorinda got casted on the show, her and Jill drifted apart. At least now we're getting to the root of the contention between Jill and Dorinda, because I honestly thought they were friends. But according to Jill, Dorinda has not been nice to her behind the scenes. Jill says when she became a widow, she thought her and Dorinda would reconnect because, the commonality, but that didn't happen. And Jill brings up an instance where Dorinda told her, "I'll talk to you once we're done filming in 6 months." Wow. Jill ain't telling nothing but the truth. I believe every word she's saying about Dorinda. Like, she's definitely going downhill as this season progresses. So it's a little later, all the ladies are dressed for the Prohibition Dinner. Everybody looks good. Vicky almost fell down the stairs. That would have been extremely funny, but she probably would have had to been driven off in an ambulance again, and that wouldn't have been good. So they're outside. This is a nice activity. It's very Real Housewives of New York. Apparently where they are is just such a hazard right now. Like, the women are having trouble in their heels in the grass. Brandy, her coat almost caught on fire. As ladies are taking photos, Eva knocks down this decorated mannequin. I guarantee if it was any of the other ladies, Dorinda would have yelled at them. So the ladies are all seated for dinner. Nothing's really happening. All of them are just being cordial and getting very liquored up. And speaking of liquored up, Vicky is finally getting with the program and not being negative or Debbie Downer. Like, apparently her saying is, "Let's whoop it up. Let's whoop it up." Not familiar, y'all. I'm sure the people that watch OC know what that means. So it looks like we spoke too soon on Vicky not being a Debbie Downer. Like, she had her little high, and now she has her immediate low when she's talking about her relationship with her ex. She just went from whooping it up to shedding tears. So it's all kumbaya, and then Dorinda surprises the ladies by bringing a burlesque dancer to strip for them. Afterwards, it is completely middle-aged women gone wild. Like, it looked like somebody must have played like some stripper music and everyone's just dancing. Tamara starts taking her clothes off and starts dropping it like it's hot. Dorinda, I think she even decided to take her dress off. I'm like, oh my God. So then they get the butler in on and he starts dancing. Then Brandy goes over to him and starts sexually harassing him and rips his shirt off. This is definitely Real Housewives of New York. This is exactly what would have happened. But anyway, a little later on, they all go back inside, they change, and come back in the living room for a little nightcap. So the topic of the conversation is, how did Jill meet Dorinda? And Dorinda was like, oh, it's a good story. And she starts saying, oh, we met in London. And then Brandy comes in and is like, oh, like, come on, let's go, let's drink. Like, I really wanted to hear that story. Like, how did they meet? And they don't even get back to that conversation because Brandy's like, trying to be the center of attention. Vicky almost gets Dorinda to finish telling her story, but then Brandy gets up and she drags Tamara out the room with her. They're in the kitchen acting like girls going wild again while the other women are in the living room talking. So Eva says it's getting late, she needs to go to bed, because she has to get up because she's still doing her radio show in the morning. And Jill's asking her, oh, what time do you have to get up? She's like, 5 a.m. And then Jill asks her, oh, can I be on your show? I think she maybe thought that Eva was doing like a podcast or something, like this is her show. No, Eva is a part of, damn it, what is it? Is she a part of the Ricky Smiley show? I think she is. So then, she tells Jill no, and then Jill's like, oh, well, can I just sit in while you do it? Now, I totally understand from Eva's perspective. I don't want people sitting in while I'm doing reviews or pop roasts. I mean, I just feel a little bit insecure about it, and then I do my takes as well. Like, I mess up constantly, y'all. That's why I'm always editing a lot. But Dorinda, she is highly annoyed by Jill right now by asking Eva that. It was just Jill being Jill. It was very thirsty of her, and it looked like it didn't even bother Eva. Jill's now offended by Dorinda coming at her so hard, and she's saying Eva can speak for herself, so now they're going back and forth. Damn, and I thought they were just going to end it on a nice note, everybody having fun, partying. And as they're going back and forth, Dorinda does her signature condescension that hits really hard. Afterwards, Jill says she had enough. She's just going to go upstairs and go to bed. As Jill's going up to her room, I totally forgot about Phaedra. I think she was on the phone with her son, but then Jill comes up to her and says, Dorinda, she's such a fucking bitch. Like, just starts complaining to her, and here we go again, the mediators. Oh, but as Jill is complaining to Phaedra about Dorinda, Dorinda overhears her and walks in the room and confronts Jill. Poor Phaedra, now she in between another fight between two white women. Jill and her are going back and forth again. She's saying Dorinda doesn't support her, and Dorinda, of course, she's gonna be like marginalizing her feelings. Okay, girl, okay. What else? What else? Jill storms off upstairs, Dorinda storms off, and Phaedra's just like, ciao. Meanwhile, while all this happening, Tamara and Brandy are still being annoying, trying to get drunk in the kitchen. Next, we see Jill did not go to bed. She went to the confessional room, and she's crying now, and then Phaedra follows her, and now she's venting to Phaedra. There is just too much going on right now. You have Jill crying upstairs in the confessional with Phaedra. You have Tamara and Brandy running around the house with the hired burlesque dancer, like dancing. Tamara's giving Taylor a lap dance. It's too much. Too much. So then we see Eva enter the confessional with Phaedra and Jill, and now you got, again, the two black women comforting the white woman because she got into it with somebody in the house. Oh no, and then Dorinda comes in the confessional now too, as Jill is crying, saying that Dorinda doesn't support her. Dorinda is clearly 8, 9, 10 sheets to the wind right now. She doesn't know what she's saying. She's slurring her words and she's like belittling Jill for showing emotion. You have Jill right now just in tears, Dorinda with her drink, and then even Phaedra in between them. This is the chaos. This is the chaos that I love. This is why I love episode 4 so much. So Phaedra is now trying to explain to Dorinda how Jill feels about not being supported by her, and Dorinda just starts yelling at Jill, and now they're going back and forth. And now here Vicky come. There are 5 people in the confessional room right now. Taylor comes in the room now. It is 6 people in the confessional room. You still have Dorinda badgering Jill, like just still scolding her, saying what she didn't do, all while Jill is just like a crying mess with her head in her hand. Poor Jill. I feel bad for her. Phaedra has had enough. She's like, you white bitches, it's brown liquor. Everybody go to bed. Like, there's so much craziness in the house. They make Phaedra's quirky ass seem just normal. So most of the ladies leave the room, and now it's the core people that have to do with the argument. It is Eva, Jill, and Dorinda. Dorinda is still fussing at Jill. Still. Saying, after everything we've been through, funerals? And you go to these people to complain about me? And here go the credits rolling, so I'm guessing we ended on this chaotic note. Like, Dorinda again, drunk Dorinda being mean. Like, this is like the third person that she's made cry. Like, she made Jill cry, Brandy cry, and Tamara cry. She's made 3 people cry already. The host. Oh my God. Jill has had enough. Dorinda is chasing her out the room, still saying, you're weak. As a drink is in one hand, you're weak. You're weak. Jill is like, I am weak. I am weak. Oh my God. So yeah, Dorinda goes back to her room. Eva's just like, what is going on? Like, I think she's the root of it all. And that is where that chaotic fucking ass episode ends. Yeah, this was my favorite episode. Just from the beginning to, like, you know, the middle where we calmed down, and they brought it right back up at the end. Wow. Just wow, wow, wow. Please bring this cast back for another destination. Preferably like where they're all in nice hotels at an exotic location. I would love to see that. Like, this is a dynamic cast. Kudos to casting. Because these personalities, oh my God. So good. And y'all, Dorinda, like, I saw episode 5 already. So yeah, it gets worse. I can't wait to get to it. I was gonna combine 4 and 5, but so much happened. After Married to Medicine, I'm gonna post this. So yeah, with that, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.